The Wii Sports Baseball World Cup, a competition which just might define the future of the Nintendo Wii as we know it. What began as 32 teams had now become 4, and the reigning champions, the Stoke-on-Trent Steamers, found themselves in a heated semi-final against Turtlenecks United. However, this was no fair contest. In secret, an evil organisation known simply as Big Company had been pulling the strings, so much so as to kidnap 2 of the Steamers' star players. Their pitcher Pipe and heavy hitter Scalene were now racing back to the field as part of a cycling race known as the Tour de Woohoo. And they couldn't return soon enough, as the Turtlenecks captain had been replaced by the all-powerful demigod, Matt. Would the rest of the team make it through this match alive?
Oof, this sweater chafes a little bit when I do my evil laugh.
Smaug, what happened out there? You've gone as white as a sheet. Almost as white as a sheet washed with big detergent. The best washing powder this side of the... No, wait, I'm not sponsored anymore. Really gonna have to break that habit? A story from a long time ago. I can't... I'm sorry, I can't. Look, don't worry. We're 1-0 up and we're fielding now anyway. Let Mr. Picnic handle things. He's a massive sociopath. He can deal with this stuff. Oi, I heard that. With my beautiful divine earlobes. Bet you're just jealous of their shape and size. And besides, I literally unlocked empathy like 5 minutes ago. I can feel things really good now. But Mr. Picnic was unaccustomed to his newfound emotional range. As he stared towards the batting square and set his eyes upon Matt's seismic head, the hairs on his statuesque body began to stand on end. But this couldn't be. Was this fear? Mr. Picnic went to pitch, but his body felt clunky. It wouldn't move the way he wanted it to, and with a terrifying grunt, Matt sent his shot blistering towards the corner of the field. Thankfully, Xavier was on his toes, because despite Matt's miraculous recovery, remembering how he'd hit the canvas like a sack of potatoes made it hard for Xavier to find him threatening in quite the same way. Mr. Picnic, however, was really shaken. His next few pitches yawned to the left, spinning out the side of his trembling fingers. Smaug, who had been switched into backstop, gritted her sharp teeth, doing her best to set trauma aside as she wrapped a claw around each wavering ball. They hadn't made it look effortless, but a strikeout was a strikeout. A strikeout is still a strikeout, said Engine Room, confirming they had indeed managed to strike out. Look what's written on that scorecard. Turtlenecks United, not Matt's miserable monsters. This is baseball, goddammit. We're playing a team, not one man. That's the beauty of it. I thought I was the beauty of it. Nobody can play this game alone. A point which was proved immediately, as Spindle compensated for Mr. Picnic's wonky pitching by doing some arts and crafts with the bottom of a baseball juice bottle, then using it as a funnel to suck the ball into a possession. I guess you could say I had that one on lock. Jaw. Wait guys, why is no one looking at me? Why, that was my big moment.
From the depths of pain comes unlimited power. You puny mortals cannot fathom what it means to be truly strong.
He reminds me so much of me, although considerably more bone-chilling. It was no good. All eyes were fixated on Matt's petrifying presence, and whilst the Steamers were freezing up with fear, Turtlenecks United cranked up the heat, picking up a smattering of simmering doubles. Xavier was having to do 3 people's worth of fielding. Sacre bleu, my legs are tired. If only I had some big heat packs to keep them loose and limber. No, that's another advertisement. Really gotta stop doing that. By the time Mr. Picnic collected himself and drew the first innings to a close, the Steamers were down 1 run to 3. I know he's scary enough to frighten the urine out of you, but I'll say it again. He's only 1 man. Where's that beeping noise coming from?
We'll go smaller and smaller helpings until you're drinking out of a thimble. So let's see here, it's 10 a.m. Winnie, so that's 1 XXL tablespoon of baseball juice now, and you can have 1 tablespoon of tropical punch, that's your favourite, isn't it, this afternoon.
Winnie was really struggling. It wasn't just that her entire body was shaking from withdrawal, although that certainly didn't help from an accuracy standpoint. She felt vulnerable. And yes, an evil demigod was currently throwing projectiles directly at her face, but it wasn't that. It was like a safety net had been taken away. Baseball Juice, it had been almost a friend. In every situation, it was there. No matter how anxious, how sad, how empty she was feeling, Baseball Juice was a guaranteed escape. An escape that had the wonderful caveat of making her incredible at baseball. But that was the thing. It wasn't her, increasingly so. Winnie, you idiot. You really thought you'd found it again. Stupid. That's something you'll never get back.
You're out!
Okay, trust the process, I guess, Ozymandias?
We'll see how we're doing when we get to the littler spoons.
It was hard to conceptualise how this semi-final could be going much worse. That is until Mindbrain stepped up holding 77 pages of calculations. Okay, perhaps if I could genetically engineer my way to becoming half werewolf. No, that's not it, Mindbrain. Come on, you've got to crack this. Oh, perhaps just -1 off this anti-gravity backspin theorem.
You're out!
Cursors, this is really hard. I'm just gonna go and join in the group sulk. Oh, come on guys, it's not all doom and gloom. Whew, okay, even for me this is tough to put a positive spin on. But see, Spindle's still got some fight left in her. Look at that single, she bounced it over Matt's head with some sort of strange breath-based airbending technique. That's cool. Finally someone noticed.
Mwahaha. Chafe. I can do that too.
Oh, and it seems the Steamers have had a point vacuumed out of the scoreboard. I didn't know that was possible. Is it in the rules, Ron? Ron? Oh god, I even miss his rulebook segment. Oh god, what's happening? Engine room? Oh no, this is bad. Baseball. What? What's happening to him? He's... Oh, baseball. What? He's... Say it! He's about to roll his sleeves up. What in the name of anything does that even mean? He doesn't have sleeves. None of us have arms. He told me about this only once. It's a move that his granddad taught him. A move only captains can use. Low team morale. Perfect 3-0 deficit. Impossible opposition. This is it. Istanbul 2005. Granddad made me watch all the videotapes. This is what you trained for. You must win this competition. Please, it is the only way. Lovable yet lousy. That's all I am. Our greatest gift is that we can always choose. As captain, this will be your greatest freedom. This isn't last time. Okay, this is this time. And we're here to play baseball, goddammit. We can do this, guys. He's about to grab this game by the scruff of the neck. Jutting out his substantial chin, Engine Room wrapped the bat across his body, grimacing as he strained every sinew, every muscle fibre to launch that ball into the back of the stands. Hello? hello, here we go. Engine room puts a grain of doubt in the back of Matt's mind. Within touching distance, that was more than half the job done. As with all good captains, however, Engine Room knew this wasn't about him. For some, the deficit was more than just a scoreline. And so, with one last flail of his arms and a word in her ear, he stepped aside for Smaug.
So, the fledgling finally comes flapping back to roost.
She's a dragon. Dragons don't make nests, they live in caves, so pretty cringe.
Yeah, get 'em.
How long was it you hid yourself away? Rumors of dwarves and hordes of gold, content to become no more than a children's story. What a waste of potential, a waste of sacrifice.
You took everything from me.
Oh, on the contrary, you took it yourself, and kept it, kept them.
Wait, what's all this about? Smaug, don't listen to him. He's talking nonsense.
You hear them sometimes too, don't you? For me, that was the hardest barrier. By using them, I became stronger, and yet I found myself saddled with this weakness, this remorse. I moved past it, reached a higher plane, whilst you succumbed to grief. You irritate me. She would have shown us both the path to perfection. We could have stood the same, you and I, and yet you ran away, little girl.
I was a child. I am not anymore.
And you think that makes us equal? Whilst you are too craven to use the raw power consuming your mother gave you.
Oh, she gave me far more important things than that. But have it your way. Good job, Poppet. Now give me a roar. Roar. Oh ho. That's my little monster. Meanwhile, in a river. How did we even end up in this situation? I don't know. I just thought about how useful a boat would be, and my left bum cheek turned into one. Tell you what, I am never drinking this stuff again. Anyway, forget about your big ass. Let's worry about that big ass rock. Whoa! Oh! Phew, I think the effects have finally worn off. Good job I used to do lifeguarding for the annual wakeboard competition. I remember one year where Spindle damn near swallowed a shoal of fish, and my CPR was so heavy-handed it dug a hole deep enough that we found buried treasure. Scalene, how do you do it? Well, I've got really powerful latimus dorsi, so I'm decent at front crawl, and no, I mean, I've been so miserable. How are you always this strong? Well, I've got really powerful latimus dorsi, so... I see what you mean. You never give up. No, Pipe, that's literally you. You know, I used to be really jealous of you. What? Why? You're a beast. You can bench press elephants. Yeah, world's strongest woman and all that, but I'm big. I've always been big. People told me that from day one, whether I liked it or not, so kinda just felt like the thing I should do. Whereas you've always had this dream that you'd die for. Baseball means so much to you that you walked and walked and walked across the whole Me Plaza, and I find that so admirable, and I've never really found my... Well, anyway, it doesn't matter now, because turns out I was looking at it all wrong. Wrong how? Because it's never really been about finding things to die for. It's about finding things to live for. I can hear pedaling. Have we Yeah, wait, I think this is part of the course. If I remember rightly, it loops around the dog frisbee arena. Oh, and that's a delightful throw from Elizabeth, and a wonderful catch from her dog Pooch, who is of course celebrating her 7th birthday at this moment in time. Let's hope she'll be getting lots of yummy dog treats later on. Bloody hell, what am I doing? Give me anything else to watch. Oh, and to be fair, it seems the Tour de Woohoo is about to come streaming by. Watch out for those spokes, Pooch. With a signature scalene wheelie, the duo hopped back on their tandem, sending a spray of sand spitting out behind them. They were hot in pursuit of the leading peloton, which, arguably re-entering the race in 7th after acting out the plot of Flushed Away and then washing up on a beach was kind of cheating. But why would they put water hazards in the course if you weren't supposed to use them? Speaking of hazards, this sand was making cornering a dicey affair. So, the two of them put their feet to the floor in an effort to get back on solid ground as soon as possible. The town was just up ahead. They were nearing the finish line, but as the race looped back round and across the Woohoo Island suspension bridge, Pipe's cold water plunge from earlier finally began to catch up with him. In his exhaustion, his steering became a bit limp, and he managed to drive them straight into a banana peel. They went skidding across the cobbles, colliding with just about everyone in the vicinity. Just don't black out, Pipe. Oh god, don't make me give CPR again, pleaded Scalene, as they steered into yet another banana peel. The line was right there, but they were running on empty. Pipe was turning blue, which can't have been healthy, and then they were popping a wheelie and the whole thing was a complete mess and they finished 5th. Despite all of this, however, yay, winner! Okay, and now he's delirious. We should get off the bike. No, I'm fine. We lost and I'm actually fine. Even though we nearly died in a runaway minecart incident, then fell off a cliff, got washed down a river, and finished with a barely conscious, ridiculous wheelie skid combo. It was ridiculous. Probably the best and worst and most fun finish anyone has ever seen. Fun? Yeah. It was really fun. What? Nothing, just... Thanks. And I've just remembered we're in a rush. Oh, good point. Let's actually go and play baseball. And stepping up once more is Spindle. Again? Yes, I know you should have had 2 turns by now, Barnowl, but we've got to catch the goldfish before we perform the surgery. Hurry it up, though. I think they're catching on to our faulty batting order. Where did you get all this equipment? Secret bunker. Oh right, yeah, forgot about that. If only this moonball strategy didn't take so much setup. Oh no, this isn't the moonball one. What? You said you'd finally finished it. Yeah, it's finished. Right, well then, it just wasn't remotely helpful. Oh. Great for hitting home runs, but not so good, as we probably should have expected, for exercising dangerous magical pebbles from teammates' bellies. Sorry, Mind Brain. I've wasted your time. I don't know what I was thinking, but it did lead me to discover this. I knew exactly what I was thinking. All along. Yes! As part of my research, I was studying replays of Venus's best shots this tournament. Look here. Why has the ball been replaced by a persimmon? If this is another one of your dodgy Photoshop jobs. No, fast forward a frame. That's the ball. Wait, no, a persimmon. The ball again. And back to persimmon. You see, in the myths and legends, all evidence suggests the orb of wisdom can conjure your deepest desires out of pure nothingness. But you can't make something out of nothing. That makes no logical sense. Holds no water. It's bollocks. It's pure bollocks, and I'm getting angry just thinking about it. And just as you can't create something out of nothing, you can't destroy it either. Then Venus won't... Good. That's really good. We aren't out of the woods yet, though. Hoot hoot! Well, yes, I know you are, Barnowl, but I didn't mean literally. I don't think the orbs can create or destroy matter, but they can change, edit things. For your granddad, that meant editing the composition of his eyeballs. Gross. For Venus, it's a bit more serious. It seems to be editing his entire character. The question is, what might he become?
Free.
Eh?
He will become free. Free from the shackles of pain and anger, the frivolousness of love and joy. To live life in simpler terms, where strength is the only statistic. If you are fortunate, you may even be of service, as he learns that force is more useful than friends or family. He will begin to consume. How many years has it been since I was freed?
But you aren't free. Pipe? You're trapped in a box with no feelings, like some sort of emotional deprivation tank.
The twitterings of a jealous little tit.
No, I don't envy you. I pity you. I'm led to believe you've just made a tremendous comeback from being humiliated by a man who wears t-shirts of his own face. He's talking about me, isn't he? To playing baseball on the biggest stage in front of tens of thousands of screaming fans, and you don't feel it. The only thing you've been freed from is reasons to live. Well, and the ability to have a decent hairline. Ooh, nice one! Pipe made sure his cheeky return was punctuated by a cracking shot, as he sent the ball swirling into the sky. His fighting talk didn't look quite so tough, however, once it began to plummet, and he only just got away with a fortunate double. Speaking of doubles, he hadn't returned alone, and as he assumed position halfway across the diamond, his tandem partner took centre stage. Hey Pipe, did you get us 2 tickets? To what, Scalene? To the gun show! Boom! Scalene's arms ripped her sleeves wide open as she smacked a thumping shot straight into row Z. We missed you so much, gawped a teary-eyed engine room. My goat, echoed Mindbrain. The band was back together, and now, with a 6-3 lead, as the teams changed over, Pipe sprinted over to the pitcher's mound and felt the familiar texture of sand and clay beneath his feet. This was what it was all about. Time to have some fun. He sent them wide. He sent them short. Sometimes they scored off him, other times not. Either way, it was such a joy to throw again. As he faced up against Matt, the big man barely got a whiff. The top of his round head began to smoke as he blew hot under his bright orange collar. And though he was eventually able to bunt a lackluster single, Pipe laughed it off with a, "That's probably the first hot single you've scored in a long time. Go on, Pipe, do it to him. You ancient bowling ball. Ooh, he's got your number." The stupid grin never left his face as he pitched fastball after fastball, taking great satisfaction in the soft thud of each shot nestling in the backstop's gloves. From here on out, the Steamers had the wind in their sails. Ozymandias spooned a single, with Barnowl, who had finally been given his chance to bat, just about scuffing another towards first base. Then, buoyed by the fact he had a full roster for the first time this tournament, Engine Room performed yet more heroics to send the Steamers out of sight. Too many times this World Cup, it felt that fate itself was against them, so it was a welcome relief to finally get some good luck, as the game was rounded off with a spectacular Xavier salmon leap catch. And if you kids at home want to increase your vertical jump, then you should buy nothing. You shouldn't buy anything. The Steamers collapsed into a great yellow celebratory dogpile. Through troubles and tears, scheming, plotting, and all manner of disaster, somehow, at the end of it all, they had reached the final. The end of their journey was in sight, but before it lay one more storm to weather. It's ready. Wonderful news. Okay, I'm gonna need to know what you've built though. It's a funnel, and I'm a frying pan. No, I'll explain. I've been looking at the contents of this juice stuff, and here, 28% distilled mystical magma. That would explain the acid reflux. Hang on, the orbs came from the volcano, and putting 2 and 2 together? Yes, this is basically Heaven's Testicle Tonic. Drinking this garbage mimics the effects of the Orbs of Wisdom, and it's using this that we will counteract the changes being made to Venus's intestines. And the rest of him as well. Wow, Mindbrain. The caveat is, to do so, we need crates of the stuff.
Do you know, I was just looking for a place to store Winnie's extras. No, it's mine. Winnie, we've talked about this hissing business.
Sorry, yeah, that is a weird withdrawal symptom, but listen, I know better than anyone. Ingesting that much is beyond dangerous. I only ever had 1 or like 2 or 3 or 4 bottles at the same time. And look at me. Sorry, pardon me. She's right. It's gonna take a while for me to work out a safe dosage.
I'll do it.
You? You've got 1 foot in the grave already, oldie. And no, you'll just hurt him again. We can't trust you.
I am his father. Anyway, you're one to talk about trustworthy.
I was literally evil for 1 tournament. It's called character progression. And anyway, I'll just say it. I love him. We know. You've said before. Quite a few times. At considerable volume.
I won't have it.
Then I'll. Engine room, no offence, but you can't even make it down the bunny slope without having an existential crisis. What? And pissing yourself. It was just melted snow, and by the way, you didn't even see it. I knew it was televised. Yeah, I knew it was televised. Yeah, it was actually quite a bad crash. A hyper-powerful energy crystal. That seems like a good idea to me. Yeah, that's a good idea. You'll all do it. Why do you think I built this massive metal Dairy Lee triangle? Down the hatch then, old man. Chug. Oh, sorry. Inappropriate. That was inappropriate, wasn't it? Steady. Ding dong. Wee. It's working. I think. Is it? No. Something's wrong. I'm shutting it down. No! Look! It's like a portal. It's opening up. I'm going in. What? Lucia? Don't. I haven't finished pressing buttons. I'll bring him back. When you get there, give him a hug. Wait, if you do that, you'll... What's happening? He's in... Oh, I should have written an instruction manual before I turned this thing on. You daft old man.
Oh, no, sorry, that's the shopping channel. And that's the weather. That's... I don't even know what that is. Ah, here we go.